we're excited to try to harvest some good crops this year. Morning guys, welcome back to the channel. I gotta get out here and do the chores this morning, but I'm pretty excited because later on here we get to start some of our garden starts. Not a whole lot. I think Jerry has a handful of things on the schedule for today, so we're gonna get in the greenhouse a little bit later here and get that done. But first things first, just gotta get down here and just check on the food and water of the animals, and want to check on the pigs to see if we can't get them back up on that trailer, both of them, because tomorrow we have to load them up and get them out to butcher. So excited about that. Finally get the pigs out of here. We'll be able to work on the pig paddocks, get those all redesigned and taken care of before the piglets come in this spring. Of course, we got to focus on the goat stall as well and get that taken care of before the baby goats get here. So a lot of work to do around here on the farm. Just another beautiful day in paradise. Morning, ladies. Hey, Silver, what's going on, dude? I haven't seen Daddy Duck this morning, but I'm sure he's around. He probably just hasn't made his way over here to the chicken coop yet. Let's see. Oh, there he is. It's hard to see him way off in the distance, but there's a fence right across the road there, and he's hanging out right over there on the fence. But he'll see us here in a minute and probably fly over or waddle his big butt over here to eat. Here he comes. Good morning, Daddy. Slowly waddling his way over here for his morning breakfast. Good morning. All right, let's go check on these pigs. I'm sure they're sleeping right now though. They don't want to get up this early. Ah, good morning. Still sleepy? Should I come back later? I guess. We'll see if they follow me out here. I'm just gonna go check their food, make sure their ramp is good. That way they can still get up on here easily, which is good. So you still see all the old scraps that we had down here. We've been putting our compost bucket down here with all the food, and they still got plenty of food left here. So hoping that tomorrow when we go to load the pigs, we can literally come out here sometime late morning, right after they get up and are hungry, and we get them to come up on this trailer. Once they get up here, I can slide the door closed and they'll be closed right in. And that's the best case scenario. Worst case scenario is if you've seen a couple videos back when we loaded them pigs, it wasn't the easiest thing in the world and took hours and was super exhausting. I wasn't looking forward to doing that again, but we may end up having to pig tie them, lasso them up and pull them on there. But my goal of moving the food bin up on the trailer was just to get them comfortable going up and on their own. So I just have to catch them up there when they go up there on their own and close the door. I'm hoping that's what we can do. We'll see. If you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. You can also hit that bell. Stay alert when we release new videos. Last thing I need to do this morning is just check on the wood. We should be fairly good. I put in a couple big logs last night, but just in case, before I get in and get settled inside for work for the day, I need to just make sure we're good. Just get in here and straighten this out. We just need to flatten this down a little bit more. There we go. And we'll just throw another log or two in there and call it good for the day. Let's get one more log and we'll be good. We got the logs in there and they pretty much instantly took off. That's how hot it is. So what's good about keeping a nice hot bed of coal in here, you keep a nice hot bed of coals in there, it usually starts right back up pretty easily. So we're gonna get back out to the greenhouse in a little while here and we're gonna get some of these starts done. And I probably have to patch the door a little bit just to seal that in for the time being, but we'll pick back up when we get over to the greenhouse. And just like that, we're back over here at the greenhouse. So Jerry's already kind of prepped the area a little bit. She got some of the trays out, starter trays that we're gonna be using, some of her seeds, of course all of our notes. Put the window fan in that we had at the chicken coop up here to try to get some air circulation in here because it's a little warm, but not too bad. Hopefully, eventually down the road we'll have more or bigger fans or some exhaust system in here. But for now, this is what we got, and again, we got everything over here, so we're gonna get some soil filled in there. And what's the first thing we're starting today?
Bell pepper, okra, sweet pepper, and something else.
All right, so again, we have a little chart here that kind of Jerry took her time filling out, and it basically tells us when everything's got to be started. It gives us an idea for a transplant into the garden. So we'll get them started today, and then I'll have to get over, start working on that garden area. So we need to get that tilled and all the rows built out and ready to go, so that when these things are big enough and mature enough to transplant, we can get them transplanted out there. So we're just using some typical Miracle-Gro garden soil starts. And we're just gonna get all the trays filled up and then we'll work on putting the seeds in. So instead of sitting here filling them up individually, we'll just get them filled up. Ready? And just like that, we got them all filled up. So now that that's all filled up, we've got the hose pulled out here and we need to moisturize them a little bit.
These came with the trays, so that's why I cut them and I went ahead and did it. So this whole tray will be bell pepper.
That's what we got here. Sweet pepper.
Yeah, because I'm doing so many, I don't have to do individual. Okay, these are sweet peppers, seeds and such.
Seeds and such. Yeah, that's where we've been buying our seeds from. I know a lot of people get them rather locally. You can get them at you know, your
Gurney's.
hardware supply. Gurney's is a big one too.
I like Gurney's.
Seeds and Such just happens to be a place that we've been ordering a lot of our seeds from, and we're pretty happy with them. But again, you can get them at a lot of different places. It's whatever your preference is.
Okay, I'm gonna use my Sharpie and make little holes.
Oh, and in case you're wondering how we're powering the fan right here in the window that we have, we just have an extension cord. Jerry ran an extension cord over to the pool area that's not too far, and there's a 110 outlet over there. So this is running right now in here, and again, we're gonna have some other ventilation in here
Yes, it's
eventually,
hot. It's
because
hot.
we don't want it to get too hot in here and kill everything out. All right.
Okay. So these are the sweet peppers.
Not very big.
No, little pepper seeds. So this is all 3 rows, sweet peppers, and then the last one is okra. 1 or 2. Yeah, is that all my sweet pepper? Yep. That I'm starting today.
Awesome. We have them staggered out so that as we harvest them, they're not all being harvested at the same time. Kind of give them a week or 2 intervals in between plant start dates, so that we kind of stagger the harvest dates of these a little bit.
This is my okra.
Okra.
Burgundy okra, we'll see.
All right.
Okay.
You're in pepper.
This is the sweet. What was that one?
That was sweet. Did we get them mixed up? Or?
I did.
Oh, okay.
I'll just switch them. This is the sweet pepper. Those were the bell peppers.
So these are sweet pepper seeds. They're like this color of your shirt.
They're tiny. Well,
I'm excited to see how these new starter trays work this year.
Burpee.
From Burpee. Again, I showed them on the other video, but they come with like a bottom tray and a top tray. And what these are, these little individual rubber coated bottom, I guess the bottom half of them are rubber, so it makes it easier to pop them out of here once they're grown and help transplant them.
I'm just covering those in.
Just lightly covering them.
Yeah. My okra, I just ate my.
So we'll have to, as I'm making videos here around the farm, we'll have to check back in at the greenhouse there and make sure everything's growing the way it's supposed to be.
My eggplant.
Eggplant. Everyone loves a good eggplant parm. Alright, so the first 4 trays are being finished up here by Jerry. She put the soil in a 5th tray, but we actually don't need it because if you look at today's date, March 1st, we've got bell pepper, there's 15 of those, sweet pepper, there's 10 of those, eggplant, 15 of those, and okra, 10 of those, for a total of 50 plants. Now, like she was putting in additional seeds in each one of those. That's because as they grow out, she'll thin them out and be able to separate them.
Some won't germinate.
Yeah, some won't germinate too. Yeah, so some won't take. So that's kind of the reason why you double up. But that's it. That's the first starts here in the newly somewhat renovated greenhouse. We'll just have to check on them here and see how they progress. That's exciting.
Yep, I'm excited.
That little table there worked out pretty good too.
Yeah.
It's like a little admin desk.
Yeah, it's perfect.
She's got it cataloged very orderly, which starters need to be at what date, and then we kind of go by the germination time and when it needs to be transplanted to get an idea of harvest dates in our garden. So we're trying to stagger them a little bit this year, add additional crop that we can bring out to the farmers market and whatnot. So it's going to be a big chore, you know, a lot to keep up with, but we're excited. We're excited to try to produce and harvest some good crops this year. Whew. Gets warm in there. I think we're going to take that fan and just switch it so instead of pulling out, it's going to blow in, and it'll be by that desk, and that way while we're working there, at least it'll give us a little bit of airflow.
Yep.
I'm going to do that real quick, and then I might actually jump on a tractor and go try to flatten down the old garden area and maybe try to till the ground up below. Not till it, but use the box blade and try to pull some of that sod up, see how easy it is here. So I have the box plate on the back of the tractor. I need to turn the teeth downward so that they can break the ground a little bit. I don't want to put them down too far, so I'll probably do it on the highest setting so that the teeth are up as high as possible. And then before we really get going, I want to take the grease gun and just go around to all the grease fittings on the tractor and make sure that everything's lubed back up since it's been sitting for a while. It is recommended about every 10 hours or so that you know, check the grease, top off the grease, and I believe there's probably even a sticker on it. Yep, right here. Every 10 hours, lubricate. So I don't think it's been a full 10 hours. Either way, it's been sitting for a while, so I'm going to go ahead and lube that up, get those teeth turned around, and then we can go out to the garden area and see if we can't break the ground a little bit and see how this test run goes today. Gonna need a rag, gun. Hopefully there's enough grease in there, we'll see. The more you keep up with the general maintenance, the longer it will last. I want to raise these up a little bit in the back. So each one of these teeth just has a pin, and these just need to be flipped around. So we just got to go from underneath. We're going to be pulling, of course, so you don't want it backwards. I'm going to go underneath, just slide it back up. I want to go in the highest setting, so that would be the lowest hole in this. So we just line that lowest hole back up, and just like that, that's what I want to do here. And just repeat all the way down the line so we get them all positioned at that same level. There we go. Now we got all the teeth positioned downward because we want to be able to put it down and break ground. So now I'll need to lower this and see how level it is. We're not on the most level area here, so I'm trying to level it to the tractor, not the terrain. So I don't want to level it to the ground because it'd be uneven. I want to see it in comparison to the tractor, which it looks pretty level. I want to go down and make sure those aren't sticking down too far, or that the back end's not hitting and those are up in the air. I don't even need to turn the tractor on for that. We just need to lower the lever here, down here. All right, so I heard some noise right there. So it looks like the first contact is the back over here, and that's probably because the ground slopes this way. But it appears the teeth are right there close. They may have to go down one more notch. I'm not sure yet. Best thing to do is just go out and lower it down and give it a test run and see what kind of adjustments we might need to make. We may need to pull the back end up, which means we need to tighten up this bar up here to bring the top end in. That way it draws the teeth down a little bit closer, but I don't know yet until we get out there and try it. So let's get out there and give it a test run. Under here, so we're probably gonna have to pull this in this way. All right, so now they're just putting tension down on the ground here. All right, let's see if that works.
Scrape better if it didn't have the teeth?
Well, I did a scrape here the other day without teeth, and it was just pushing the ground. It wasn't getting in. I needed something to break ground, so that's why I had to put the teeth down. That's why I want to adjust it now to see if I can bring it back so the teeth aren't down as far. It's just more of the blade catching, so I can catch the rest of that. I'm trying to save as much soil as possible, but I got to break the sod. I need to get the automated one. You can push a hydraulic and this thing will automatically adjust. I don't have to manually spin it. So I just brought it back this way to see if we can get some more connection on the blade itself. These teeth have been doing the job of breaking the ground. Probably going a little bit lower than we need to, but I knew this sod is going to be real thick and we needed to get down and get this loose. But the goal is, this is good on this side, this is good, but this sod chunk in the middle I need to break up, and I'm thinking if I can get the blade to scrape these out, that's the goal. We'll see how easy that is. The battery died earlier, so I had to bring the camera in, but I didn't get a chance to get in and put a new battery in it before I finished up doing my workout here for the day. But I ended up taking that box blade, using those teeth, cutting up the ground a little bit to dig down. They eventually took the teeth back out and did just the blade itself and angled the blade a little bit farther back, and then tried to level everything out and get as much of the sod as I could off of the garden top. Now it's not perfect. There's still probably several little areas that were the low-lying areas that have some sod in them that, you know, when the tiller comes through, it'll definitely till it up. But my biggest goal today was just to get the garden in a spot where it's ready to till. So I took off as much sod as possible, and you could see here everything all around the garden. I extended it by about 15-20 feet, as 15 or 20 feet farther than it was last year, and all that's just kind of pushed up and bermed all the way around the edge of the garden right now. I still need to come back out here and of course clean all that up with the tractor. I think I'm going to reuse it down where the duck pond is eventually going to go. I might end up using that with a culvert so that I can make that spot over there. But I want to let this sit here for a day or two. They were supposed to stay pretty dry. I want it to dry out with the sun and just kind of cook out, and it'll kind of give me an idea what's still left, and I might be able to clean up a little bit more before we till. But then I'll just come out here with the tiller, and I'm going to till it down really good. And again, maybe wait a day or two or rake off any existing sod or grass and stuff that I could see. The whole goal of all of this work is just to reduce the amount of weed control that we have to do this year. Once it's all tilled down, we're going to hill it all up so we have our hills, and again, it's all in accordance to what Jerry's diagrams are for what needs to be transplanted from the greenhouse to here. Those will all be hilled up, and we will have a layer of cardboard paper is what I'm trying to get, maybe just cardboard eventually. We'll have all the cardboard laid down and all the paths and all the hills, and then we're going to put a layer of mulch over top of the whole garden. And our idea is to get a rent a mulcher, or if I can find one for cheap to get, we want to get a mulcher and just start cleaning up our property. All of our brush piles and everything that we've kind of accumulated since we've been here, and that was here when we moved in, we can then use the mulcher, mulch all that up, and it'll be two birds with one stone. We'll be cleaning the woods up and cleaning out the brush pile, and we'll be creating natural mulch to be able to put over the entire garden here. Once that's all mulched out, the hope is that that will suppress the weeds enough this year that we don't have to stay on top of it all day long every day. The next task is to get all this dirt cleaned up and moved out of here, and this whole area tilled with the tiller really good. All right guys, well that's it for today's video. Thanks a lot for following along today. Until next time, we'll talk to you later. See ya.